welcome to Beauty, Body and Being with me, Kirti Chakuti. Adya,
Hello.
so I hope you did your exams well.
Yes, I did.
Welcome back home.
Thank you.
So today I'm going to use Adya's knowledge because she's a science student. She'll be talking something about skin cells. Since you are a science student, I thought you would be the right person in this episode to explain about the cells. So give us some insight on skin cells.
Well, as we all know, skin is something that we externally have. It is the largest organ of our body. It has a lot of functions. It regulates the body temperature. It heals wounds. It is the first barrier, first defense mechanism of the body. Whenever any bacteria, fungus or anything comes in, it has to pass through the skin and then come into the body. So it is like the first, you can say, a layer of defense.
That's nice. How is the structure of the skin and how many layers of skin do we have?
Well, we have 3 layers of skin as far as I've researched. We have the dermis, the epidermis. The dermis is the middle layer, epidermis is the upper layer, and below all these layers is a subcutaneous adipose tissue.
That is the most inner layer of the skin.
Yeah. So it has like a fatty tissue, and each layer has a different function. The epidermis is for the the defense mechanism, the first layer. Then comes the dermis, where all different types of collagen fibers and all of those are constituted. And deep below you have your adipose tissue, which is nothing but fat tissue, and that regulates the body temperature, and it has lots of other benefits and functions.
That's nice.
So the adipose tissue layer is basically very important it's like a mucous membrane. It is very important to repel any type of external forces like shocks, because it's a insulator. So it gives the bounce, and it regulates certain temperatures in the body, which is very essential. And without this, your body is very permeable to a lot of damage. So internally, and that's why the skin is very important.
Skin being the most sensitive organ, it's very important to protect it from the damages we have in our daily life. That is exposure to chemicals, the sun, the pollution, and the scars and wounds which we always expose to when we work. So how are we going to protect all this from all these type of damages? What are the ways we can protect the skin?
Well, the skin has its, as I said, it's a first layer of defense. So it has its own mechanisms that enable it to repel certain forces and protect your internal organs. And the first mechanism is either inflammation or it is wound healing. So both the ways, it is a response to these kind of stresses. So wound healing happens with lots of essential cells.
Okay, my favorite question. How does actually Noni technically helps the skin cells? Because I practically know that Noni does wonders on the skin, and that's why we make a lot of products, every product in fact with Noni. But I want you to technically explain how Noni is helping the skin cells.
Well, to begin with, it has a mammoth benefits that it has. So one of the many benefits is the cell regeneration and rebuilding
Using Noni.
Yeah, and for a fact, Noni surface, the surface of the fruit, looks very similar to your epithelial cells on your skin. Yeah, so that is very synonymous, and that is what makes it very unique, because ultimately we are what we eat, is what we believe, right? And that is exactly very much evident in the fruit. So apart from that, it has a plethora of properties like vitamin C. It has ascorbic acid, which is nothing but vitamin C. It has hyaluronic acid, salicylic acid. It has a lot of other essential acids present for the skin healing. And since it has great amount of antioxidants. It's wonderful for anti-aging, anti-wrinkle, and apart from that, we also have it is a photo-aging substances that are present in
What
it.
does that mean?
Photo-aging is light repelling, like melanocytes tend to darken your skin with the sun exposure. So this applying noni paste can completely minimize this and not reduce the reduce your skin to be prone for any sort of sun damage. So elaborating a little more, noni has the potential to build collagen in the skin and also lighten the skin because of retinol present in it. So it's really essential that we use noni as a daily skincare product. Though it gives burn and little bit of inflammation, it is all that you need to understand that it is healing, because it's healing from the deep root layers. And trust me, whenever you're using any skincare, it is very essential to know the concentration and the pH of it and at what temperature that it works best at. Noni is having a pH of 4 to 4.5, I believe.
Which actually has a correct balance.
Yeah, and the skin has 5.4 pH, which is more or less compatible, and that is the reason why it has an acidic pH which can penetrate and through the skin layers very deeply. So that makes it more effective in the skincare routines. So I highly recommend noni as a daily skincare regime.
We come across a lot of stress due to many reasons. One is our work, our emotional factors, our lifestyle, and keeping ourselves busy in many ways. We don't rest well. So these are many ways where we actually stress our body and mind, which indirectly affects your skin, and that leads to wrinkles, that leads to dryness, dehydration, and there are some diseases which come up due to stress. So let's hear something from Adya about that.
So, responding to your thing,
Stress
I would
levels.
say yes, the stress levels. Well, the brain to skin pathway is a bi-directional pathway. That means the skin benefits the brain and it signals the brain, as well as the brain activity impacts the skin. So it's both ways.
Both ways.
Yeah. So because of that, whenever you have any internal issues like neurologically, your hormonal levels tend to fluctuate, especially when it comes to certain hormones like cortisol and HPA. When they increase, it leads to the development of psoriasis, eczema, acne, and loads of other things. So because of that, what happens is the skin is directly impacted. So in this case, you need to go through therapy.
So is it like that stress is damaging the cells?
Absolutely. Because whenever you are taking stress, it is an immunological response, because your immune system is impacting everything about your body. So whenever you tend to take stress, it impacts each and every cell of the body. This way, consuming noni would reduce stress because it works completely on the cellular
health,
and it helps in the mitochondrial activity of the cells, which is nothing but the powerhouse of the cell. That is the reason why the cell is active and performs its functions properly. So I would definitely recommend noni to be a part of both skin externally and internally to be used.
Yes, we have a lot of cases where skin issues which have been treated by drinking noni juice and using skincare products.
It's a detoxification.
So, Adya, for the insight about skin cells and how noni really helps the skin cells. I'm happy to use her when she's around at home, so that she'll talk the technical part whenever I need. So let me conclude this episode with whatever knowledge we could share with you about the skin cells and how noni helps the skin cells. Now the coming episodes we will talk about the different products we make and what are the different ways you can benefit your skin with our products.